what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach. This is Missin Curfew. And before we start stopping around, let's not forget, the show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Fuck, the fellas are playing a little short-handed today. This is Obes. I'll tell you what, if there's one guy, though, around the National League that I could take a little 5-on-3 shift with, I'd rather have nobody else than the Richie fella. Richie, my man, it's just me and you today. Swishy's caught in a snowstorm in Montreal. Up, dog, I don't know where the fuck he is, buddy, but it's good to see you. Boys, let's just keep her tight here. Hold the middle. Chatter, hey? Take away lanes.
Everything to the outside, buddy. Hey, the goalie can make the first save. We'll clear the puck. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Good
Where is
to
the
see
upshell right now?
What's that?
Where is the up dog?
I think he's. He was in Florida at the TGL golf yesterday, and then
that's right.
I think he's off to St. Bart's today. So tough life for the up dog.
What a life, eh?
What a life. I love that he flew into Scottsdale with us, played golf, which we'll get into, and then he was flying back for another business meeting back in Newport Friday night. I was like, buddy, that's how you pen. He's like, it's just dinner. I'm like, it's a business dinner, is it not? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that is impressive, just to pencil in a little business dinner on a Friday night.
And when you're pinned coming off golf.
I couldn't even talk coming off the golf, still have a business meeting.
Imagine trying to show me your business plan here. This is what I'm thinking here. I fucking stutter, and they'd be like, God damn.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I thought that was a pencil. That was a T. Sorry.
Still got your golf spikes on. Fuck.
Yeah. Richie, great weekend, buddy. Let's do a little weekend recap in our intro here. It was nice to be on your turf. First things first, every time I'm in that Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport heading home, it is not a pretty picture. And I'm not going to blame you. I just think I get into Scottsdale and it's a little drier than here, and I'm almost to get in there for a fellow tour or the wasted management or whatever it's going to be. And I don't drink one water the whole time I'm in there. So I just think the dry air gets me a bit too, Rich. Like, I'm not going any harder than really anywhere else, but every time I leave that Phoenix Sky Harbor to head back to Newport, it is not a pretty picture, fella.
And this was only a 2-day little runner for us. That last one was about a 4 or 5 day or so. I can see that one. This one we didn't take it tame by any means, but we're not bad. We weren't up that late. We're in Buffalo late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I went home by 11 p.m. both nights.
Yeah, I was like, you're like, I gotta go, Obes. I'm like, what? What do you mean? You're like, I gotta take my daughter to school tomorrow. I'm like, all right, I can't really. I even as your best buddy from back in the day, like. That trumps all. I can't be like, oh, yeah, way to be a good dad. Hey,
yeah, you pussy.
Pussy, you're a loser. Way to be a good dad. Way to get your beautiful daughter to school on time. You're a loser. I'm going to go do God knows what now, but have a good night. I'm like, okay, fella, fair enough.
That's why I said it, too. I know you can't see. It's a trump card. So, no, but that was a fun weekend. Barrett Jackson was unreal. Golf was great.
Yeah, let's start
really
there with let's start there with the Barrett Jackson. Shout out to our boys at Luxury Auto Collection. Johnny, who I've already knew through you, but his brother Chris is just the biggest beauty. Just a couple Nashville guys. It was fun talking to them about Nashville. Rich, obviously you played there for a year. I was there for a year, and how much the city's changed, man. Like every time I go back to Nashville, I'm like literally where the Soho House is in Nashville. When I played there, you wouldn't even went to that part of town. Like that's how much it's booming. And to hear from two guys who grew up there, like it's crazy where that city's come now.
Yeah, obviously going there as a road team, you kind of would always see a ton of cranes, and you're always like, oh, this place is booming. But when you played there, I really noticed the difference. You get to see all these other little areas, and one thing I noticed for not a big population, like city wise, like the traffic was getting pretty bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like trying to get from downtown to the airport, like all these roads, there's nowhere to really expand some of these highways. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I noticed the traffic was big when I played there. But yeah, it's a great city, and it's certainly a popular spot for people to head now.
Yeah, when I look at it,
and bachelor parties.
Yeah, when I look at it, I look at it two different ways. Like when I played there, could have I used a little bigger city to hide a little bit more? Yeah, I could have. I could have used a couple more spots to go out and a few more people. Like they got all these country singers now have open bars there, right? Like
Yeah, every single one has a bar.
Every single one has a bar. It wasn't like that. When I played there, like you had Broadway, and then you had like Midtown where Tin Roof was. But on Broadway, you had like Tootsie's, the Stage. I'm sure there's a few more, but there wasn't a whole ton of options. And then you go up to Midtown, you had Winners and Losers with Tin Roof. It's like I could have used a little more places to hang out to maybe fly under the radar a bit. But I'll tell you what, that little southern charm it had back then, like the last time I went back to Nashville, I'm like, this is a lot cooler and a lot more stuff to do, but it doesn't quite have that little small town city Nashville feel anymore to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it kind of reminds me of like LA now or something like, or I don't know.
Austin,
You're right. It's lost to Austin. Yeah. It just lost some of that like little small town charm, like you said. But I always found too, like you always want a spot like where you can get away and not see people too. Like I find when you go on a little strip there, which is obviously a lot of fun going to Legends and Tootsie's and all these places, but I'm always worried about running into someone. And sometimes you just want to go do your thing.
Fuck yeah.
And especially when you played there, that was probably 6 or 8 years before I got there. And it wasn't, like you said, you needed some other place to escape to, but now it's kind of got crazy.
It's crazy. I remember Trotzy pulled me. I mean, yeah, like that was 6 or 8 years before you got there. Wow, that's nuts. Like this, it was just tiny, and it was just turning into the organization it kind of is right now. Like my year we were there, Rich, was the first year they won a playoff series. We beat the Ducks in 6. And it was kind of building towards, obviously they end up going to the final, and now it's, turned into, a pretty good organization with really good fans and guys that want to play there. And, when I went there though, it was tiny, and obviously they knew a lot about hockey, but I'll never forget Trotzy pulled me in probably right around this time, actually. It was probably this time in the season, and we were having a good year. We were hanging there with the Red Wings in the old Central Division, trying to win our division. And he just pulled me in one day, and he's like, "Oh, come here." And I'm like, "What's up, Trotz?" He's like, "What did I tell you when you got here?" And I was like, "Oh, play good defense, be a good D partner for Franny, stick up for my teammates, be a good PK guy, like, good in the room, tough. I'm doing all those things." He's like, "No, that stuff's all fine. Slow the fuck down. It's a small town. I told you." I'm like, he's like, "I know every night where people are telling me you're going out and who you're trying to hook, who you're trying to bang, and who you're trying to this. Like, slow the fuck down. It's a small town." And I was like, wow, it is that small. Hey, Trotzy? So he wasn't kidding.
But the only thing is, Holmes, I mean, you're not subtle sometimes when you go on.
No. Listen, people, Richie, talk a lot about, when they talk about me when it comes to partying and off ice, they talk about Vancouver. Truth be told, the most I drank in my career was Nashville. Not even close. It wasn't even. I mean, it's a tough town not to have a beer in. Like, I lived on Broadway and 2nd, so I would leave Bridgestone.
You could walk to the rink, right?
I'd walk to the rink. Well, I wouldn't walk. I could have.
Well, I know, but you could. It was that short a distance.
I could, and I would, on my way home, the days I would walk, or even if I didn't walk, I'd go home, park my car, go for lunch. You're on Broadway. There's live music. Everyone's having beers. It's like it's almost impossible not to drink there.
That's what I always notice. I mean, I try to stay out of there as the home team, but like the road team, if you just walked down the street or you get to that hotel beside the rink, you could hear the music. You're like, I got to go for at least one. Yeah, that turned into 10, hungover. But it was so much fun. Usually that was one of the games where kind of the coach kind of knew, you just better show up and play good. I know you're a little stung.
Yeah, because the coaches are probably a little stung too.
Coaches are out to, yeah. Exactly.
All right, boys. We all smell like booze here. You talk about road teams. It's funny. Living down there on Broadway, and if I could do it again, I probably wouldn't have lived right downtown, but I just wanted to be in the mix when I first got there. I bumped into a lot of road guys, almost too many, where like you leave the rink after practice and you're walking home and they're fucking sitting there at Tootsie's or whatever, and they're having lunch at so to your point, every road team that came through there, if they had an off day, they'd poke their head into Broadway.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this though, that hotel, I can't remember the name of it. Excuse me. The one right beside the rink there, you can like right out where the players of the road team would walk into, connected to the Palms there.
Yeah.
Whatever that one was called.
Yeah.
That one was hard to sneak into because it had no open. It was the open air one. So your room was exposed. You had to like walk the plank. So that was it. You almost had to crawl on the floor to get to your room. Because, there's always someone hiding in the lobby or someone sees you at 3 a.m. So that hotel was tricky as well.
Yeah. If you're going to come in late, come in real late. I'll tell you what, I bumped into a lot of road teams at that Palm restaurant too. Me and Toots would go there for dinner. And who loved that restaurant was the surgeon, Sergei Kostitsin. Him and Wardo would go all the time. But great city. We need a fellow tour getting back there. But speaking of fellow tours, Barrett Jackson, listen, I wouldn't say I'm a huge car guy, A, because I can't afford it, and B, I've never really been a big car guy. But what a spectacle. I mean, to come in there, obviously we had the National League set up with Johnny, but to see the cars that roll through there, we were only there for 1 day. That is what, 4 days or 10 days total? 4 big days? But
10 days, yeah.
Man, oh man, what a spectacle. I mean, that Barrett Jackson, they're printing money, Richie. For the fellas out there listening, they get 18% of every car that goes through there.
You think about that.
Think about that. The day we were
and
there,
I think Johnny told me though they roll a car through every minute and a half.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So, I mean, cars go from 10 grand at the start of the week up into a couple $1 million cars. So, there's a lot of money there to be had for old Barrett Jackson.
I'll tell you what, I sitting there on the stage with you boys, and there was a couple trucks that came through there. Like, you remember the truck from Dazed and Confused, Benny's truck, where they sit in the back with their lawn chairs and their beers and the paddles they made. There was a few trucks that came through there that if I had a little more scratch, I was to your point, I was itching a bit. Like this truck pulled up, redone, kind of that Dazed and Confused style. I'm like, fucking, would this be nice to bomb around Newport and pull into the Bay Club with? And I'm like, oops, snap out of it, fella. You're not dropping $100,000 here on a truck. But to your point, Richie, because you kind of warned me going in, or you said the week before, I think on the show, you're going to get the itch. And when I saw some of these refurbished trucks coming rolling in, and they just shine them up perfect, Rich? I'm like, I would like to pull the trigger on this bad boy.
Let's talk about the itch, though. We get there, walk in, get a cocktail, walk right on stage, and the first car Johnny sees, he buys. Yeah. we weren't there 10 minutes, and he already bought a Ferrari. So that was pretty cool, though, wasn't it? To see him like, we're on stage and I didn't know what he's going to do. He's looking in the door and all of a sudden he's like, if I get this thing for 70, I'll get it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he buys it.
Yeah. We're like, Johnny, way to set the tone, fella. We're on the board.
Like that close.
We're on the board. It's going to be some great content. Ice Pick and KC did a great job. We just got to edit up and make the boys look good. But thanks to Luxury Auto Collection, Barrett Jackson, I'm telling you, boys, if you're into cars at all, that's the place you want to hang out. And by the way, the people that you meet there, right? Like, if you're a car guy, the people just walking around there that we met, this guy's like, oh, yeah, this is what this guy does. And I didn't know, but I knew enough being around that. I'm like, well, these guys are all legit. Like, this is the if you're a car guy, this is the place you want to be because all these beauties know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, and some of those guys bring their own mechanics in and all the, make sure if they're buying, they're checking, make sure everything's good with their people. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. How many people Johnny introduced us like 15, 20 people all in the car game, serious guys.
Yeah. Another thing I'll chalk up to a win for the Barrett Jackson. Lots of pissers. Lots of pissers everywhere. I wasn't struggling once waiting in line. And once we broke the seal, obviously I was going. So tip the cap to Barrett Jackson. You're not waiting in line to take a leak, which to me is huge, Rich.
No, it was. And we were kind of on the same piss schedule going there. Yeah. We broke the seal and it was on every about 10 minutes. We were pissing again. But it's a big enough like landscape where it's confined, but it's spread out and you don't feel you can get away from the crowds and get a bathroom and get some space. It was great. You bumped into a couple guys like, hey, Richie, what's up, buddy? I'm like, who's that guy? Like, fuck, I can't remember his name. I'm like, that happens to everyone, right? Like when you're at a big event, and that's your home turf, like a couple of your buddies like, hey, Rich, hey, fella. The old point. You can't go wrong with the point. You got to go over the top. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Fucking big hug. But no, there was a lot of people there. It was great. It was a lot of fun. So thanks again. If you haven't checked it out and you're a car guy, put it in your schedule next week. Just kind of top off the fella tour, Scottsdale. Shout out to our boy Ray the Wiz Whitney, the Wizard. What a guy. Listen, Calmy's texting me, or I'm texting Calmy, and he's telling me the Wiz is struggling. He's going through some swing changes. Well, the Wiz found it on the back nine. He played unbelievable. I absolutely slashed it. I apologize to you, Rich. I think I made 3 pars all day. I should have went home when you did. Fucking dumb. I stayed out way too much past my bedtime to put up a good number. But listen, what a spot. It's so cool there, Richie. Obviously, the course is great and that, but like you go in there and like you said, there's a bunch of tour pros hanging out. It's all men's club. And then the memorabilia. Like you got Phil Mickelson's Masters flag that just says, to the rock, it's all about the hang. Like everybody that's there, all they say it's about the hang. And man, did we hang. That was a good hang there. Yeah, that's a cool part about it. It's it's pretty much a men's club. We walk in there. There's JJ Spawn putting. There's the guy that won. What was the guy's name? Gotter up was there. He just came off winning the PGA event. Like, it's cool. You're always seeing guys there grinding, practicing. You're running a ton of other athletes. It's just a great guys hang. And well, we must have sat there for what, three hours after the round, at least 4 hours.
So we finished the round probably 5 o'clock. I want to say we left there about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a good hang.
It was a great hang.
It was a good hang.
All on the
way. Yeah,
the course
is great. The course is great.
Course is great. I'd like another crack at her. I just couldn't find her.
We didn't play our best. I couldn't make a birdie. We weren't on our best that day, but it was still a great day, no matter what.
We ran into a buzzsaw. But another thing from Whisper Rock that was unbelievable is all the guys that work there. I mean, it seems like there's tons of people that work there, and the guys that do, they're all good dudes. Or like, I had a drink before my drink was even done. They're like, here you go. And I'm like, that is tape to tape there.
Yeah, they knew our mission, and they were hovering around. Yeah, you couldn't even get a sip in. They had another one in front of you. It was great.
I'll tell you what was another thing. When you mentioned we walk in there, and that JJ Spawn and Gutter Up, who just won last year, what's the first thing they're doing? They're just on the putting green putting. Like, these guys put in such long days, man. Like, the Wiz was telling me that Spawn was out there the day before for probably 8 hours, and he putted for like 4 hours. Like, try to putt. I know we're old hockey players with bad backs and bad hips, but like, just try to putt 20 balls straight and see how your back feels.
Right?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, but that's just, I guess I don't know. They have the temperament too to like sit there all day. I wouldn't have the temperament. I had 20 putts and be out of there, but
you're like, let's go play 9, boys. Let's go play 9.
But can I tell you, I'll tell you one good sign. I'm hoping this is a good sign for me that the membership guy came over to me and it we talked for a second. So I'm hoping that's a good sign for Richardson, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's never a bad sign, I wouldn't think.
No, that's a great sign.
You're getting in here.
You're getting in for sure. One thing I did realize is I often think I'm a pretty decent chipper. Well, around Whisper Rock, I mean, the greens are there's a lot of slope in them and stuff like that. They're very, very firm. Like, there was a couple chips, and every lie was perfect. I can't blame the lie. The course, you could have ate a steak off the fairways and rough.
Yeah.
I had a couple nippy pinches nippy chips. I was like, that's gonna be nice. And the next thing I know, I get up 25 feet away. I'm like, holy fuck! Like, you get appreciation for how good those pro guys are playing in those conditions all the time, firm, fast, and if you don't hit it perfectly, it's not gonna check.
Yeah. 100%, especially like those greens were redone probably 2 years ago now, so they're still a little harder than like the other courses. But yeah, you got to know how to spin it and really commit to it in the back of your stance, and or just play that it's going to run. But
yeah, I should have played a little more. I should have played a little more run, a little chunk and runs,
a little more run.
Just let it run out. It's funny you say that because, as you know, they're redoing Big Canyon, and one of my biggest complaints at Big Canyon, I don't have many, but the greens are too soft at times, right? I'm like, firm these babies up. Now, when they're new, they're going to be, I'll be chipping in the pond.
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes them, but it just takes them, a few years to mature.
For sure.
So, but yeah. We'll get you back out on the lower here when I'm in. Or you can come to a member guest with me, hopefully soon enough.
Yeah, I need another crack at her. But thanks to the Wiz. It was unbelievable. Richie, thanks to you. It was nice to be there in Scottsdale. We missed Swishy. But other than that, it was a great fella tour. Can't wait to get back out on the road with the boys here in the spring. Championship weekend in the NFL. Pats Broncos 10-7. Man, did that storm blow in. Like, I mean, we've both played in Denver. It does happen at times, but I've never seen something that quickly. Like, I can't remember my 2.5 years there where I'm kind of sitting in my condo and next thing you know, there was a full-on blizzard. I'm sure it happened, but looking back at that game, when it was 7-0 Broncos and they could have kicked the field goal up 10-0. I don't know if Sean Payton has a weatherman on staff there for the Broncos, but had he known that snow was coming in, you probably kicked that field goal. And then the second half was just, it was kind of unfortunate, Rich. Like, did it look cool on TV? Yeah, maybe. But to see these two teams work their balls off, and you've been to the top of the mountain with your Kings team, but to get all the way to the championship series, the second half, and it wasn't really a football game. It was just nobody was making plays, and the Pats were just protecting the lead. It's kind of a letdown. Yeah. I'm happy the Pats won because they're my only team left in my futures, but man, that second half was kind of boring. And I felt bad for the guys that had worked hard to get there, Rich.
Yeah. Well, just to touch first on the weather in Denver, it's very rarely that it snows like that. But we did have a game postponed one time because we had a storm like that. We had to push it. And that was a nice little hot NHL snow day. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Q let us stay home all day. So that was good. But
what a guy.
Yeah, with the game, you're right. I would have kicked that field goal point. I think obviously these guys look at everything, the forecast. I'm sure they were looking at all that stuff. But I mean, the points were so valuable in that game. It's just no one could even get any momentum going really at all, especially in the second half when the snow really picked up. But even for guys trying to catch balls, I'm sure they couldn't even see them. If they did throw it, like, how do you even get an eye on that thing?
You couldn't even see the Patriots uniforms. They're all white. I mean, Drake May must have looked. We couldn't see nothing.
They might have had a little advantage with those uniforms on, no?
Yeah, white on white.
Right?
It was crazy. I mean, I felt bad. And Coach Payton, who I've been lucky enough to spend some time with, he's an absolute beauty. I did see his post-game press conference, Rich, and he was like, we had the momentum going, which they did. In that first quarter, first half, they had the momentum. He's like, I was just thinking, if we can get up 14-0 on this team, I'm like, well, listen, if you have Bo Nixon, your number one defenseman, not that I should tell number one quarterback, sorry, not to tell Sean Payton how to do his job, but it's like, you got your backup in there. It's a long 4th and 2, 1.5. Probably just punt that baby through and go up 10-0. Like, easy from my couch at the Bay Club, but I was like, I was happy because I had the Pats, but thought that was a mistake.
I'm with you. I thought it was a dumb mistake right then. I'm like, man, oh man, it's going to be so low scoring. But anyway, it's tough to fault a guy when you want to be aggressive, and I'm sure his analytic guys and the numbers are like, go for it. Tough calls you got to make as a coach. It's
so great listening. I don't know if the fellas out there that's in the States, on Monday morning on Wake Up Barstool, every morning it's Portnoy, Greg Olson, and Coach fucking John Gruden. And John Gruden talks about how much he hates analytics, Richie. I turn it on just to hear Gruden chirp analytics. I'm like, that boy, Gruden, don't ever fucking change. Like, he's like, you can throw your analytics out of the, he's like, you got to take in who's your quarterback, who you're playing, what's the weather. Like, he's like, your analytics don't tell you all that.
Yeah, and like that one's like a situational one for me. Obviously, you got to weigh a little bit of analytics. Why would you not? If you have numbers in front of you, you got to take a look. But that would be a field play for me. Where you're like, God damn, this is if we're gonna be lucky to get 14 points today, like, let's just hang in there and play it out. But I don't know.
Especially
I like that Gruden does that though, because they're a bunch of nerds.
Oh yeah, Gruden's so old school. He's the best. It's just they had to know that weather was rolling in, didn't they? And just like.
Yeah, that's a huge factor for a game, right? They're looking at which way we want to start, if we win the coin flip. They're looking at all that, right? So they're looking at obviously some kind of whatever you want to call it, barometer or some, whatever it is.
I love Mike Vrabel. I absolutely love him. What he's come in there, and they can say, oh, they haven't played anyone good, and they got the Chargers at home with a banged up Herbert, and then they played the Texans with CJ Stroud sucked, and then they went into Denver and they played a backup. Whatever. It is what it is. What Vrabel has done to come in there and built that culture. But hey, they're going to have their hands full. The NFC Championship game was unbelievable. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. I was lucky enough to get to know Staff a little bit out here. He was a member at Shady back in the day and played some golf with them and went to a restaurant with him a couple times. He's a great dude. Terrible golfer. Great dude. I'm like, Staff, you might be the only quarterback that sucks. He's like, I know. Why do you think I got a membership? I'm trying to get better here. I'm like, well, I can't help you with that, but come on, man. But what a game from a 37-year-old quarterback or 38, whatever he is. Probably going to be the MVP. Listen, Rich, I've never played football. I don't know how hard it is to catch a punt. But if you're not going to catch it to that guy in the Rams, just get out of the way. Get out of the way and don't do that. Like I do think it's a different game if he doesn't do that. But it's such a great football game. Shame someone had to lose. But Richie, the guy who dropped that ball, I don't know if I would have let him on the bus. I would have been like, fella, find your own way home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was it for him, right?
Oh, that was it.
I think they pulled him after that.
You can't do that.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, get out of the goddamn way. The worst thing that's going to happen is you have your pinned in a little bit. But
if you have any doubt in your mind that you're not going to catch this fucking thing,
the way.
Move. And he kind of got his feet tied up.
He did, yeah.
Oh, that to me.
I felt bad for him too, because that feeling is the worst, right? Oh. Like when a guy does that, you're like, oh, you're obviously mad at him, but you're also like, you sympathize.
No, listen.
Because no one wants to be in that position.
I've been in positions where I'll never forget the lockout year in the minors. We're playing the Chicago Wolves in the second round, and we weren't going to win the series, but we were down 3-1, and we were clinging onto a lead late in Game 5 to take it to 6, and I took a penalty late in Game 5, and they ended up scoring and then beat us in overtime. Like, I felt fucking terrible, man. Like, and all the boys were coming up to me, oh, shake it off, don't worry about it. But you feel so bad that you were maybe the reason or one of the reasons the boys lost. So as an ex-player, exactly. I feel for him. I do. I feel for him. But as a guy who had his money on the Rams, get out of the way, you meat stick. Fuck me,
well,
man.
I was a little happy. I was kind of cheering for the Rams, but I bet Seattle. So I wasn't as mad as you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Stafford's an elite quarterback, isn't he?
Oh man, I mean, after that,
like at that age to like throw the ball, he's just. I love watching him play. The way his touch on his balls, everything.
Oh, and the thing about Staff is, I don't know if people remember or might have forgot, is at the start of the year they were talking like he might not play with a bad back. Like, remember in training camp, like, oh, this guy might not even play. Not only did he play, he's going to be the MVP and takes his team to the NFC Championship game, and he played well enough, obviously, for them to win. But you talk about a dumb penalty. The defensive player on the Seahawks, Ice Pick. Do you know the guy's name that took that unsportsmanlike when it was 4th and 12?
Game over, and he gives him another chance.
Listen, I've taken a lot of dumb penalties in my life, but I'm like, you, buddy, that could be the dumbest penalty I've ever seen in my life.
Shane, it was
right?
It was Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, Woolen. Yeah, thanks, brother. And then what does Staff do? Goes right after him the next play, him one-on-one with Nakua, and drops it in the bucket, touchdown. I'm like, we're back, baby. We're back. The one thing about the Rams, Richie, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm John Madden, but like their secondary and their defense, like I thought they should have blitzed Sam Darnold more, and their secondary just got picked apart. Like I don't know if that's coaching or just bad matchup, but their defense was not nearly what I thought they were.
No, they weren't perfect, and I could agree. I think they were a little. It would have been nice to see them a little more aggressive, but having said that, I mean, what's this? I just lost my quarterback there for Seattle.
Oh, Sam Darnold.
What's his name? Sam Darnold played unbelievable. You got to give him some credit. I mean, that kid played unbelievable.
I'll give him tons
of
credit. So
you got to look at it two ways, but I thought he played great.
He played unbelievable, and I was betting on him to throw one bad, like throw a pick and maybe a fumble. Or I was like, this guy's going to show his, he hasn't never been here. And he's never done this. And like, no picks, no turnovers, 300 yards, 3 TDs. Unbelievable. I mean, good for him. He's a good old former USC Trojan Ice Pick.
Yeah, and he's going to be the first USC Trojan quarterback to ever start in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Congrats to those
surprised
boys.
by that.
The reason I wanted the Rams, Rich, I've told you boys this, is I had money on both of them in my futures, Pats and Rams. It would have guaranteed me. Now I'm kind of caught between the shit and the stink because I don't know what to do, like hedge it, but the line's so big. It's minus 210 money line. I don't know what to do. But one thing I will say is everyone's crowding the Seahawks already, and maybe that's right. But like this Vrabel team, they're going to have 2 weeks to get prepared. I don't know. I think it's going to be a game, Rich. I don't think they're just going to come in here and fucking steamroll. And the Patriots defense is legit.
I mean, I hope you're right. I'm leaning more towards Seattle. Easy travel. Almost feels like a home game for them.
No. Totally.
Coming off two not dominating, but they're putting up points. They're playing great. The week before was a dominating win. They just played so well, and it feels like it's their year. But having said that, this Drake May kid's a player. Their defense is first class, and then their coaching, it seems like, how do you go wrong with their coaching? So I'm hoping for a great game. It goes either way. It is what it is. I'd rather have a good game.
Yeah, listen, everything you said, I do agree with. It does feel like the Seahawks here. Their fans of 12 of the 12s, whatever they call them, are going to travel very easy to Santa Clara. But Drake May, hopefully it's good weather, right? The only thing that could get you in San Fran is maybe some rain or whatever. But I just think Drake May and his ability to run, his legs, when it's going to be good weather, time will tell. But I'm with you, Rich. It does feel like the Seahawks, but somehow I might need the Patriots to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Just like, remember the first one? Patriots going in to play the greatest show on turf. The Rams, no one gave them a chance. Next thing you know, Tom Brady's fucking on the podium. Next thing you know, he's had 400 kills, and they're all models.
Holy God, yeah, he's ran through some. But wouldn't that would be a cool story right there? Wouldn't it just like passing the torch almost? To now this franchise is going to go again. There's like they're already looking, obviously trending the right way in the Super Bowl, but to do it like that would just be like, wow.
it would piss off not only Seahawks fans, it would piss off every other team in the NFL. They're like, they're back again.
I know, and it looks like, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to football being over just because I've been just taking on the chin the entire year, so I can't wait for the season to be over. Last but not least, our little intro here, fellas. The ice pick was there at T-Mobile Arena, UFC 324. I'm just going to touch on the production of Paramount Plus. Listen, I get it. It's the first show. No matter how big and successful something is, it takes some time to work things out. Too many ads for me. I know they have to make money. Listen, I had no problem paying for pay-per-view. I'm a diehard UFC fan. I want the fighters to get paid, and I want the inside view or inside the corners and the chatter. Like when you're in the main card and you're used to them going into the corner cam, and now it's an ad read. It's just like Dana White did touch on it. He said Paramount's great to work with, but as a fan, I just wanted to give my 2 cents. There's way too many ads, and we cannot cut out the corner cam, especially in the main event, co-main, anything on the main card, really. You got to get in there and hear what the trainers and fighters have to say. It gives you, as a fan, Rich, an inside look at like what this guy may need to do, how's he feeling, how tired he really is. So I hope they can figure that out. Just too many ad reads for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just my 2 cents. You're way bigger UFC. Like, I like watching some of the bigger ones. I don't watch them all. But when I'm watching it as like an average fan or guy that doesn't know a ton about some of the stuff that's going on, I love the behind the scenes because it makes I'm learning a little bit about it, first off.
Yeah.
Which I like learning. Oh, what are they going for? And there's just any behind the scenes stuff in the fight game. These guys are animals. Is cool to see. So yeah, I agree. They got to have that.
Yeah. Ice Pick, you were there. I got to ask you, fella, how sick was Patty the Body's entrance? I mean, that was, watching it at home, I'm like, I am jealous the Ice Pick is there having a beer right now. That must have been sick, fella.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of the whole night. Going into it, the Sugar Sean fight, they were chanting USA, so I was thinking the crowd might be pro Gaethje, but it was that when Patty came out, they started the music, everybody lost their minds.
Yeah.
And that fight was, that was the fight of the night, clearly.
I thought he was dancing a little too much before the fight. I'm like, save your energy here, buddy. You're about to fight Justin Gaethje, who, he's 38 years old now. But I knew Gaethje was going to stand right in front of him, and he did that. But I got to give Patty Pimblett a lot of credit. Like, a lot of people said he's had Dana White privileges where he's, had some, pretty easy fights heading to the championship. And he has. He had Ferguson not in his prime. He had Chandler not in his prime. He fought Green before that, who was never really a contender for a championship. But to me, as a pretty diehard UFC fan, Patty Pimblett earned his stripes, man. Had to go to the hospital after the fight. To stay in there for 5 rounds when you're getting hit like that, good on you. I do think he'll come back better for this, Richie. But when he woke up the next day in whatever fucking casino he was staying at, the Wynn or wherever they put him up, man, oh man, give him a bucket of ice to put his head.
Ice bags.
He would have been hurting.
Oh yeah, I wonder what they're like. What do you think they do after a big fight like that? Like, you're probably so beat up. What do you do to recover? You just rest?
Yeah.
So, do you think there's a protocol they go through?
Yeah. So when it happens like that to a guy who takes that many shots, like the UFC makes him go to the hospital. Like, he was fine, but you look like a guy like even Gaethje when he walked. By the time the adrenaline was done and he was walking out of the ring, they do some behind the scenes stuff. Like the way he was limping. Like, as soon as their adrenaline comes down, I can't imagine the way their body feels. But there is they got to go see a doctor. They got to get some medical tests before they get cleared if they were in a war like that.
Yeah. I'm just, I get that. That's obviously just to avoid any lawsuits and stuff and make sure the guy's okay. But, is there anything you would do the next few days? Like, just ice and just stay off the face?
Yeah. Fucking sleep on your back, first of all, face up.
I know, but I don't know. I'm just,
Well, Gaethje him and O'Malley ended up at some club in Vegas after the fight. But I would say, as you know, as a player, right, the next day you're really going to hurt. But then the 2 or 3 days after that, I can only imagine that they're just ice tubs, recovery.
Shoulders, And
I do think the UFC is really good with that stuff. Like, they have all the therapists they need and all the treatment they need because I'm sure probably the body's hurting right now. But it was a great UFC. And we'll see what happens next. Fellas, we'll be right back at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Pick 6, fellas. DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Just choose more or less on 2 or more player stats. The more accurate picks, the bigger the payout, fellas. Richie, my man, look at this. I went to the company. I had to go to DraftKings and say, hey, listen, the fellas at Missin Curfew and our listeners, we need some tips here. So I got a little pick six tip sheet from the company. I went right to the top. You're going to touch on this guy a little bit later, but I will say Beckett, Sennecke, he's all around the puck. I mean, he had 7 or 8 shots last night against the Oilers. Boys, if you're looking for a guy to fill out your pick six and maybe you haven't watched a lot of Ducks games, that is a guy that is all around the biscuit. He shoots it, he can dish it, but he's around the net. He's a guy for points, assists, shots, goals. I think you got to mix him into your DraftKings pick six. So one little tip here for the boys, Richie, the stat slice. This is what you get with the stat slice. Discounts on a single player stats prediction to give customers a better shot at hitting the pick. So boys, when you're checking out the app, click on the old stat slice. It's going to give you a little better odds. Get some skin in the game, Richie. Just trying to help the boys out here at Missin Curfew in the pick six, because all you need is one to keep you in the game. But I'm ice cold too right now, so I had to go to the company.
Yep.
I got some more coming next week for the boys, but stat slice, get in there, use it. It's for your advantage. Let's go.
The old stat slice.
I'm like, listen, I go to KC. I go, fella. I go, listen, you got to email DraftKings for us. We need some inside tips here on what to tell the boys. And obviously, the glue guys and team guys that DraftKings is, they didn't let us down, boys. So get some skin in the game. Always gamble responsibly. But the Pick Six app, good odds, boys. You just got to hit one to stay in the game. Check it out. Get this guy Labatt Blue. Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to the website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to Games Points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com. Get that guy a Labatt Blue. Richie, I will start dishing. I'm dishing 3 here. First, listen, I'm hard on Evan Bouchard. I will not say that he doesn't have skill, because he has a ton of skill. The other night, he had a hat trick and he had 6 points. Not only that, he had 8 shots on net. Him and a guy, by the way, you probably heard of him, Bobby Orr, are the only 2 defensemen in NHL history to have 6 points and 8 shots on net. So Evan Bouchard, get yourself a Labatt Blue. Richie, this is what this kid can do. Obviously, the power play is lethal, number 1 in the NHL. He can shoot it. He can dish it. It took me almost some years to get 6 points, half a year. So Bouchard, get yourself a Labatt Blue. Although I would like some looks on that power play, but that's pretty impressive, Rich.
It's very impressive. We've said enough, a lot about him, on this show and stuff like that. But you gotta respect his offensive game. He knows how to play with those guys. He can shoot. Obviously, those numbers and that with the naming Bobby Orr in the same sentence as a player, you can't really. There's nothing you can say about that. So you got to give him his credit when it's due.
Yeah, nice 6-point night on a Saturday night at home. I could just imagine what I would have fucking got into after that, I tell you.
Oh, boy. You would have went on a little slider after that?
I would have bought out the whole fucking global top cheese there back in the day on Granville Street and said, come on in, let's go. Little fun fact for the Oilers fans. I'm sure they know this, but maybe the other fellas don't. Ekholm had a hat trick last night against the Ducks. First time in Oilers history they've had back-to-back defensemen get hat tricks. So I thought that was with Koff back in the day, and I thought maybe someone would have done that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Evan Bouchard, get yourself a Labatt Blue. Richie fellow, I'm dishing a couple more. Big Vasilevsky, 88. I had the Lightning last night against the Utah Mammoth, and thank God Vasilevsky was seeing the puck well. A shutout, 2-0 shutout. He played unbelievable. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. You kept the Lightning in it. You kept my bet in it early. And then the Lightning found a way to get it done. So for him, get yourself a Labatt Blue. But Richie, on the other side of things, the Utah Mammoth, man. Listen, Nicky Schmaltz, he had the puck the entire first period. I ain't lying. I thought they played with pace. I thought they were physical. I thought their back end did a nice job of jumping in when it needed to be. They're getting great goaltending from the Czech kid. How do I say his name? Volmarka? Volmalkin?
Veggie?
I'll tell you what, he's leading the league in wins. Vasilevsky's second in the league in wins. But what I saw last night, the Mammoth had won 8 straight, Richie. I can see why. If they play like that, you picked them at the start of the year to be a playoff team. If they play like that, they are going to be a playoff team. They play with pace, structure, and they should have won that hockey game. If it wasn't for the big cat between the pipes, they would have.
Yeah, and you've touched on they're 8-1-1 their last 10. they're when they're on, they're quick, they're hard, they're direct. And then like a guy like Schmaltzy who needs to get paid. I can't believe they're waiting on this guy to not pay this guy.
Right.
When he's playing Schmaltzy and Kels together, it's incredible to watch. He can play center or wing. I mean, but having said that, yeah, they're playing really good, and it'd be really cool to see them in a playoff spot and kind of continue with this and see if Bill Armstrong makes a move for a centerman or something like that, because they're a little weak. That's their weakness to me, is up the middle. And this is Bill Armstrong, the GM's been there for 8 years now. They've never been in the playoffs. If you're sitting in the spot of the deadline, he's got to make a move or to get them over the hump, because I think they could actually, if they get in and they get a couple moves, they have a legit chance if their goalie can play like he's playing.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. I see what you're saying down the pipe. A guy that jumps out, and there's been trade rumors with him. Vincent Trocheck would be a nice little slide right in there, second line center. But yeah. I'll tell you what, Rich. You talk about Nicky Schmaltz and Kells, and Swishy pulled out a stat a couple weeks ago, like they have the most points combined as American-born players playing together or something crazy. I can see why, because as soon as either one of them gets them, they already know where the other one is. Like I'm not going to say it's Sedin. It's not quite Sedin-esque, but they have a feel for each other that you can't teach, and their power play is absolutely clicking. And then late in the game there, when they had a power play and the goalie out, like Nicky and Kells, the way they were just working it with each other and in and out, they didn't have to call for it. They knew where they were going to be. It's pretty impressive. It's
very. I've watched them live so many times, and it's literally when they're on, the other guy on their line just get to the net, and they just work the puck together themselves. It's honestly crazy what they do, and that's a great comparison. Obviously, let's not get. I think Sedin's are at maybe a little higher level, but that's a really good comparison of how they find each other and know where each other are before they get the puck.
The Sedins played in the charity game or whatever with the Shorzy, that Shorzy show was going around.
Yeah.
First of all, it almost looked like there was more Canucks fans for that than there was for a fucking normal Canucks game nowadays. But anyways, the Sedins came out and they were working the drop pass, touch, a couple plays. I'm like, Jesus, they still got her. Like it was like Hank got the line between his legs to Danny, one touch back to Hank, backhand touch to Danny. I'm like, these boys, like maybe put them out there for a game. You never know.
I mean, let's be honest. They run marathons. They stay in the best shape ever. They're animals. They're kind of remind me like they're Chara-esque in the way they still compete after hockey. Like they're always in the best shape. They're always in the career in the best shape. I love the Twins.
They're beauties. I'll tell you what, that Dylan Gunther for the Utah Mammoth. I mean, he can shoot it. Can he not shoot it? I mean, good God.
Yeah. He's a really good player.
I love McBain. I've always been a Lawson Krause guy. Like you said, there's pieces here. And to Bill Armstrong, listen, like Richie said, 8 years you say he's been in the league. Let's get this team in the playoffs for Ryan Smith and all these good guys they have in their team. And like Richie, it comes down to the deadline, making the right move. So if they play like they did last night, they're going to be there till the end. Last one for me, Richie. Mikael Granlund, hat trick against the Oilers. The Ducks have been banged up. Leo's out. McTavish is out. Ever since then, they've put Granlund, Killorn, and Beckett, Sennecke together. It's an unbelievable line. Killer's playing late. But Granny, he had a hat trick last night. Single-handedly almost took down my bet. Get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue. If you're anything like your brother, I know you like an ice cold Labatt Blue because he's a beauty, but he's playing great. I know you know Granny Richie, but happy for him. He's a national leaguer, man. When I watch him play, good in the face-off circle, can score, can kill penalties. He's just a very complete player, in my opinion.
Yeah, he really is. And he's really underrated as a player too. Like he's been doing this for a long time. Like he's been in the league for quite a long time. He's getting a little older, but he's still playing at a high level. His hockey sense and intelligence is way up there. I mean, obviously his boots aren't perfect. That would be his only knack, but he is so smart, makes plays, he can shoot the puck. I mean, he's just a heck of a player.
Yeah, I agree. Are you dishing a couple, fella?
Yeah, let me throw a couple here. I want to go to an old former teammate, captain of the Nashville Predators, played his 1,000th game, Roman Josi. You play with him, Obes. I just think this guy is just all time, man. The way he carries the puck, he was one of Norris. He's just a great player, great teammate, and for that, get yourself a beer.
Yeah, Rich, I actually missed him. He wasn't there when he came in. Right after I left, he came in, and I've always loved his game, and everyone loves him in Nashville. But what I wanted to ask you as a guy who played with him, like, what's his everyday? What's he like day to day? Is he hard worker or just details, or what is it? Because his skill is through the roof and the way he can carry the puck. But I was just curious, what's his day to day stuff as the leader of that club?
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Kind of like a goofy personality, likes to joke around, but kind of more of a quiet leader. Kind of just laughs at the jokes, isn't the aggressor, but he's a guy like, I wouldn't say he's physically fit, but he's just like a hockey player. He loves being on the ice. He loves playing hockey. And he's not a big gym rat where he's in there lifting all the time, heavy, even though obviously you got to work out. But he's more of just an on ice kind of a Drew Doughty where he plays hockey.
Yeah, I love it. That's kind of what I thought too. Kind of an old school throwback. Listen, I got more skill than you. Great vision, great patience.
And he's never tired.
No,
he can skate and skate and skate and skate.
I would have loved to have played with him. We're both left shots, but he could have played the right side with his vision. I just would have just fucking put it back to him all night. Here, skate with that. So, anyways, congrats to him. Get himself a Labatt Blue. You got one more there, fella?
I got one more, and we've been talking about this kid kind of a little bit on this show already, but Bennett Sennecke, man, this kid. Yeah. I've watched him, and I think this kid's going to be a superstar. He's almost there as it is, but watching him last night, he had one turnover, which whatever. He tried to make a play, and it went the other way, and they scored. But he went through his legs probably 4 or 5 times. I watched and made unbelievable one-on-one plays, and then finds another guy off it. Made a couple of plays where just a heavy stick where he outmuscled old veteran guys at 19. Again, he's become one of my favorite guys to watch, to be honest, in the last couple of months. So watching him, I'm like, holy shit, this guy has no fear of making a mistake. For a 19-year-old kid, I know Quenneville is just going to keep going, throw him out there as much as he can. But he's going to be an elite player. And he's almost there for me. And I mean, the rookie of the year race, I don't know how that's going to go, but I mean, this kid's got to be considered if he keeps going like this.
Fuck yeah. He's got 18 goals. I mean, obviously Matthew Schaefer, the talk's been about him because he plays in Long Island, and he's a generational talent. But I'm with you on this Beckett Sennecke. Let's not just lose him because he's playing out here in the West Coast and maybe people don't see him enough. I'm with you. And listen, Pat Verbeek took some heat for this pick. I mean, this kid was projected late first round, and Pat took him 3rd overall. And I'll never forget the look on his face when he was picked. He like someone just, he was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Listen, he reminds me of a little bit of Corey Perry, a little bit of Bobby Ryan, but he's got that vision and the length, and he's not scared to make a play, and he's kind of greasy, right? Like you think you got him, and he kind of gets off you, and I'm a big fan of him as well. And with him playing with Granlund and Killer right now, 2 veterans that have been around that play the right way, you can tell they love playing with him. Granny and Killer I'm talking about, and you can tell Sennecke loves playing with these boys too. He's like, I just got to get these guys the puck. They're always in the right position. Yeah,
100%. He made a couple good plays. One to Granlund on the one goal they scored through the seams. He's making, like, even last night I really noticed how heavy he is on the puck.
Yeah,
and he was taking pucks to the net. Like, and for a 19-year-old kid to be able to do that against men was like, okay, this kid has no fear. And I think that this kind of second half, he's just going to kind of keep climbing and really kind of show off his stuff.
Yeah, he seems like a good kid too. I think he was doing an interview on TNT, and Anson Carter asked him, like, what's the biggest, oh my God moment in the NHL? And he didn't really have one because I don't think he's probably had one, but his answer was, there's a lot of big hits out here. I'm sure someone's going to get me eventually. That was his answer. I'm like, this guy's a good kid. Like, he knows he's eventually going to get hit by someone, but he almost listened to him talk like he hasn't had that moment because he knows he belongs. He knows how good he is. Maybe he's too naive or too young to understand where he is or what he's doing. But I'm with you, Rich. The Ducks got a good one there. And one thing I want to say about your boy Quenneville, they had just won 7 straight. They lost last night to the Oilers. I don't know if Q talked to these guys or if they had a team meeting, but their structure and their detail to playing on the other side of the puck has changed dramatically. Like early on in the year, they were scoring so much that their defensive problems didn't matter. And it bit them. They lost fucking 8 or 9 straight. And to come back, you got to think it was Q said, right? Like, finally, boys, hey, we can't play like this. And they've come back and their structure's way better.
Well, 100%. We all know you can't. Scoring is going to drop, a few times during the season. You can't just rely on that and say, fuck defense. That's got to be it's always got to be, in my opinion, defense first. Defense wins championships. And you got to protect your goalie. And then, everything comes off that. They have enough skill in that lineup to score goals when it's on. But if you got to be able to rely on your defense to win games when it's not there. So, and that's going to be, if they want to get in the playoffs and be any kind of threat, they're not going to score their way to the Stanley Cup. I don't think so. You got to defend.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, back to back, played Calgary the night before, won that game. They came out and jumped all over the Oilers. Then the Oilers made it 5-2, and you could have quit, right, Rich? Like, not quit, but you're like, all right, listen, we got a day off tomorrow. We've won 7 straight. Yeah. They score one late on the power play, and they come out in the third, and, they show jump, and they take it to the Oilers. It showed me a lot of character, Richie, that, obviously starts with Coach Q and that coaching staff, but Killer, Granny, Stromer, they came out and didn't quit. And that, to me, that's an easy game just to kind of mail it in and kind of just go through the motions, and, you got an off day today. It was good character by them.
100%. I agree.
If it wasn't for Tristan Jarry, they would have won that game. He made some big saves in the third. Yeah. So, boys, Pristine Pilsner, always drink responsibly, but get those Labatt Blues in you, fellas. Fellas, whether you want to pull up to the rink in style or roar the course with your boys in a National League Sprinter van, the fellas at Luxury Auto Collection have you covered. They don't just sell cars, they sell a lifestyle, boys. Check them out online at luxuryautocollection.com. Promo code Curfew gets you free shipping. And boys, before we get into our Luxury Auto Collection Dog of the Week, these guys can get you any car you want. It doesn't need to be a Ferrari or a Lambo. If you want a nice Tahoe or whatever you want, they can get it, or find the guy to get it for you. They're team guys. They're part of the Missin Curfew squad. So if you're scared off by all the big-time cars, don't be. They can get whatever you want. So the Luxury Auto Collection, Dog of the Week, going off the page here a bit, boys. I'm sitting at home over the weekend. Fire on Netflix. I've seen Free Solo, but this fucking guy, Alex Honnold, Taipei 101, climbs a skyscraper, Free Solo. You are our Luxury Auto Collection. Dog of the Week. Richie, man, I was just sitting there with my girl watching it. We were both sweating, and I didn't even watch it live. Like, when he went live and you have the feeling of, I hope he doesn't die. I knew he didn't die still, but I was still nervous for him. Obviously, I've seen him climb El Capitan out here at Yosemite. This guy is our Dog of the Week. People are taking selfies with him. He's waving. He's taking selfies himself. I'm like, this guy is a bad dude. He's super calm. But the set of nuts on this guy, Richie, he's our Dog of the Week, fella.
We couldn't get past the first little thing there he did. I couldn't get up one level on that building, and it just scaled out like it was so easy. I don't know if you saw the picture, too, when he's standing at the bottom of it, like that. How high and intimidating that looked. I'm like, it's insane.
Dude,
like you said, the composure, didn't sweat. Imagine how much you'd be sweating out there. I wouldn't be able to hold on to anything.
You're like, he's got a little chalk, just a little chalk, Rich? Chalk's free, fella. It's crazy.
God damn. Wouldn't you be worried you run out of chalk halfway through the climb? Like,
Mac Miller did say that. I'm like,
you gotta think. I don't know. It was pretty impressive, and yeah.
I'm like, you got to think if he thought he had enough chalk, he put a little bit more in there. Right?
Right? What if you spill some or something halfway through, or something falls out, or I don't know.
I thought.
Man, oh, man. It was crazy, Obes. And yeah.
It always goes back to me about taking a piss. I'm like, what if you're up there and you got to just take a Sorry, boys. What do you do? Just kind of maybe just take it right off the skyscraper, right? Sorry, boys. I need 5 here. It was
all those people in the hotel, right? I don't know what you do.
It's funny you say that. Some people the next day were like just trying to get up the first ledge. Just get up the first ledge, and they couldn't do that.
Like, he must have something in his brain where it doesn't register fear or death or something. You know what I mean?
Clearly, he's accepted the fact that he may die, right? Like he I think I've heard him say too. He obviously doesn't want to die. But he's happy doing it. That's what he, like me and you, we used to love snapping around, teeing it up, going to Little Texas. He loves climbing skyscrapers and mountains 3,000 feet in the air without no parachute. Parachute, no net, no harness, no nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insanity. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see if he does it again.
His training, you do see that in the Free Solo, how much he trains, his push-ups, his hand strength.
His fingertips and everything got to be so strong, right?
It's crazy. So anyway, sorry, that was a little bit off topic, boys, but I had to watch it, and he is our Luxury Auto Collection Dog of the Week. I couldn't imagine doing that. Moving on here at Missin Curfew, around the National League. Best league in the world, boys. 32 teams. What a league, fella. You want to lounge by the water, enjoy waterside dining, and unwind in true Newport Beach style? Missin Curfew's got you covered, fellas. 20% off at Balboa Bay Resort with code CURFEW. Book now at balboabayresort.com. Around the National League, fellas, we're sticking with the Anaheim Ducks here. Jackson Lacombe has been named to Team USA. I feel for Seth Jones, right? Won a Stanley Cup last year, big deadline deal for Bill Zito. Thought he earned his way on that hockey club. I was actually excited to watch him play over there. I love Seth Jones' game, his length, his ability to move laterally. He's a great defenseman. Jackson Lacombe, though, the more and more I watch this kid, Richie, obviously the big contract of $9.2 million, it kind of caught me off guard at the start of the year. But even last night, he had a couple big hits. He's playing first unit power play. He's playing PK. He's leading their team in ice time and points as a defenseman. I can see why Bill Guerin brought this guy to Team USA. I can see why Pat Verbeek gave this guy the contract he got. Some people were talking about Lane Hudson. And Richie, I was kind of one of those guys when it first happened. I'm like, it's got to be Lane Hudson. But then you got Quinn Hughes, Zach Rowinski, right? Do you need Lane Hudson? Probably not. No disrespect to you, Lane. You go get Jackson Lacombe, who, he's going to be a depth defenseman there. We'll see how much he plays. But I can see why Billy Guerin picked this guy, Richie.
Yeah, and you got to look at who got hurt. Seth Jones got hurt, right? So he's replacing Seth Jones. Jackson Lacombe's kind of that similar get up at the play. He's all around player. He's got a little bit more. He's got some heaviness to him. And like watching him last night, he played McDavid he was against McDavid most of the time. I know McDavid's going to do his thing no matter who he's against, but he had a couple one-on-ones with him. He had a great stick, shut him down, made some good plays. I think that's a good call. If obviously Quinn Hughes gets hurt, then Lane Hudson's a call.
Yeah.
Or Adam Fox is a call, or whoever you want. You run your power play, your second unit, or that's what I mean. You're kind of trying to fill that gap, right? I would think.
No, 100%. And we were actually talking about the golf course, and you're like, well, they got Quinn Hughes. I was like, oh, yeah, because Quinn Hughes didn't play the Four Nations, right? Because he was banged up. I was like, fuck, that's right. They have Quinn Hughes. Then you don't need Lane Hudson. Lane eventually will be on the team. But and I'm with you. Not just watched him last night. I've watched him a lot this year. But last night in particular, his physicality. He got a big hit on Janmark, big hit on Hyman down in the corner. I'm like, hey, if this guy can add this to his game, I'm an even bigger fan of him. And he's got the strength and size, and he's a good dude.
Yeah, and you know how that is too. Like when you're playing those kind of minutes, it's hard to be real physical.
Yeah,
because you know what I mean. Like you want to conserve a little bit when you're playing that much, but if you can add that to your game, like you just become a killer, right?
Yeah, bright future. He's going to help Team USA, but unfortunately, he's not going to help him enough. Let's not get crazy here, boys. Eh? Team Canada, Coop and the boys, McDavid, McKinnon.
Let's go.
Around the National League, best league in the world. Speaking of Team Canada, Tom Wilson, part of Team Canada. Couldn't be happier for him. But I saw an interview with Brandon Duheim, and the girl asked him, why have you been wearing your suits to the game? And he's like, oh, we have a rule here. If you wear a bad fit, which means a bad outfit to the game, Tom Wilson, and I'm sure Ovi has some say, they suspend you for 2 weeks. So if you wear like something dumb to the rink and the boys don't like it, Richie, you got a 2-week suspension where you have to wear a suit. I love this Caps team. I'm just trying to picture myself on the team. I would be the same way. I'd be like, Willie, suspend this guy. Look at this outfit. This is terrible. So Willie and Ovi, I thought it was great, man. I just think that's what the NHL is all about, Rich. Hey, you wore a bad outfit, fire your suit back on.
Yeah. Do you think is it Tom Wilson and Ovi, or is it like they go take it to the team vote, or what do you think?
Duheim said it was Tom. He goes, mainly it's Tom.
It was Tom.
But you got to think Ovi Ovi probably comes over the top and is like, yeah, that's right.
I agree.
Fire suit
no,
on.
I love that. Like you just said, that's a fun team. I really like what they got going.
So do I.
That's
and
great,
just sticking with the, I was one of the guys that I thought, not having a dress code would be good. It's been awful. I just think it's awful. I don't know. Guys, I guess I took for granted how sharp NHL players looked coming in with their suits on. They're like Grape said, look at this guy coming in here, suit and tie, looking like a movie star. Like, I took for granted how good we looked coming in, all in suits, all looking sharp, NHL. I wanted the players to have a little of ability to wear what they want, Rich, but I guess I'm an old dinosaur, old grumpy defensive fella. I don't like it. I think we got to go back to suits, maybe no ties. But I think we got to go back. I don't know if we will, but I think we got to.
Yeah, I would assume once we've made this jump, we're probably not going backwards. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I enjoyed wearing a suit. I didn't know I wasn't a big tie guy, but I always wanted to wear a suit, look good. Um, and it just was easy too. When I go on the road, I bring a suit, and I don't have to bring all these crazy, and I don't have to think about what I'm pairing with this and why. It's to me, it's just annoying. I don't know. I like the suits. I thought it looked good, and it kind of distinguished our league as a little classier league and a little bit more put together.
Yeah,
in a way.
Totally. And
so I liked it.
Yeah, and the thing for when I see guys coming in wearing all different things, to me they don't look like a team. I know they are still a team, but when I see it, I'm like, these guys. This guy's wearing. I'll use the Leafs for example because their social media department pumps it more than anyone, right? And listen, Matthews and Domi, these guys, they have style. I'm not saying they don't, but like one guy will have a quarter zip golf shirt on, and another guy will have a jacket on, and then Matthews will roll in doing his thing, and then Max will come in. It's like they're all over the map, and like that's not just the Leafs. It's a lot of teams I see. It's just like when you roll in, everyone wearing a suit. It's like, hey boys, we're here for one thing: to win this fucking hockey game, and then get out here and try to get laid after the game. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you. I feel like sometimes it's guys are just putting too much thought, and they got stylists and too much thought and stuff into it. It's like taking over, getting ready for the game. But
yeah.
I think we went from 0 to 60. Went from suits and wearing it and looking good to like now you guys are wearing tank tops and
I know
stuff to the game, and I don't know, man. It's just we lost a little bit of class in that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. And like, listen, back at our era, it was too far the other way. Like, there was teams, every team I played on, pretty much, I had to wear a suit on an off day on the road.
Yeah, same.
Like I go to a
movie theater with your suit on.
I go to a movie theater. I can't even get my M&M peanuts in my pocket. My fucking suit's too tight. But I'm like, why are we wearing a suit on an off day? Wear whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but wear a nice pair of jeans and a fucking jacket and go have a nice off day. That was way too far the other way, Rich. I'm like, what are we all? There's 8 guys in a movie wearing suits.
No.
Like, come on.
That was insane. Like you go out to the bar for a beer after, you got to wear your suit. You go, off day, movie theater, trying to relax, suit. Wake up on an off day, you have to throw your suit back on. That's a little much, but we went too far the other way, I think so. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. So around the National League, best league in the world, it is milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. We just talked on Seth Jones. He will not be at the Winter Games in Milan. Unfortunately, Leo Carlsson, you can also put him on the milk carton. I was looking forward for Leo to get over there. The kid's a stud. I just thought an opportunity for him to go over and play against not only with the best Swedish players in the world, but to go against the best players in the world for a 2-week tournament. I really thought that would help his development, Rich, as a player. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Yeah. It is what it is. I want to talk about Team Canada. Right now, Braden Point didn't play last night, hasn't played since his knee injury. I'm not just going to fire him on the milk carton just yet because they haven't announced it, but we're getting close. We're like 10 days away or something here. If Point can't go, Hyman, listen, I get it. Hyman's probably not going to play first unit power play over there, but the reason I think you got to consider him if you're cooping the boys with Hockey Canada is how good McDavid has played since he's come back. Hyman knows how to play with them. I'm not saying these other guys don't, but he goes to the net, he keeps a stick on the ice, and McDavid's numbers since Hyman's come back have been unbelievable. I hope Point can play. If he can't, I do think they should consider bringing Hyman in to play with McDavid on his line. I know he's not going to play first unit power play, but he just knows how to go to the net. And these guys, we talk about chemistry, Rich. These 2 guys have chemistry in a short tournament. I think that's important.
Yeah, and I think Ob's like, I don't know if whatever. There's, I know you can look at Bedard, you can look at Jarvis, as other guys. But I'm just saying, if you put Hyman on that team, I don't think anyone could complain about it, right? Because you know the chemistry they have. You can't. It's tough to argue that it wouldn't be a good pick, right?
Yeah, and it's only, listen, if he wasn't playing with McDavid, well, fuck, we would probably even be talking about him. But if he wasn't playing with McDavid and McDavid didn't come, as soon as he came back, yeah, maybe it was timing because, it was 20 games in or 25 games in. But when he came back, the way Connor started playing and the way the Oilers got going, you can see Connor loves playing with them. You can see it. He hunts pucks.
Yeah.
They like each other. He knows where to go, right to the post. It's just, I just think Hockey Canada has really got to consider if Pointer can't go, like, why not bring him in here and just play him with McDavid? And that's one less thing the coaching staff has to worry about.
Yeah. Do you think they ask McDavid, like, hey, who do you think? Like, he's probably going to say Hyman because, he's a teammate, but do you think they're asking him? Because I certainly would be.
I would 100% be asking him. I would 100% be asking him. You got to think Army and the boys. That's a good question, Rich. It's above my payroll, fella. But I would, if it was me and you. Let's say you're the fucking GM and I'm the assistant GM. I would say, Richie, ask him if Pointer can't go. Ask him who he wants. Does he want Hyman or does he not give a fuck? If he doesn't give a fuck, then pick this guy. But if he cares that much, and the way they're playing together right now, bring him.
Yeah, if he obviously if Connor didn't say Hyman, you know that he wants like a Bedard or someone like that or whoever but. Yeah, listen, I'm with you. I can't see a negative of it if Connor wants him.
No, and a guy that plays like Hyman, I think Team Canada could use that too. Obviously, we got the most skill, this and that, but he hunts pucks. He gets in there. He forechecks. I don't know.
And he's playing, and they're playing really well right now together. It's not like they're in a slump. They're playing really good.
That to me, Richie, would be the factor that pushes over the top. Pointer can't go.
Yeah.
Let's bring Hyman in. These guys are humming right now. We start them off.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't have to worry about them. Just much like Crosby and Kunitz back in the day. So
Kunitz, yeah, exactly.
Can't wait. We're getting close, boys. Back up the Brinks truck here at Missin Curfew. Beep, beep, beep. Back her up. This happened last week. Josh Doan, 7 years, $48.5 million, $48.65 million. Richie, I think you know this kid. I don't know him personally. Yeah. Obviously, his dad was a beast. I love his game. I love the way he competes. He's got more skill than people think. He brings it every single night. I couldn't be happier for this kid. Took him a little while to get in the league, right? Then gets traded to Buffalo. Doesn't know what's going to happen. Boom, he's rewarded with a 7-year, $6.95 million deal. He deserves it. Good on him. Buffalo's playing well, and he's a big reason why, Rich.
Yeah. I've talked about this kid a lot. I love the kid. Getting to play with his dad, Shane, and be a line mate of his. And then, Josh was at the rink almost every day with his dad. You know what I mean? And then in the summer, he skated with us. Even he was 12 years old. He was skating with the NHL guys, in the summertime, getting ready. And his improvement from, his skating was kind of an issue. His skating is amazing now. The way he picks pucks from people. He's just improvement's been so cool. And I actually, text with Shane about it and stuff. And he just was saying how, I was saying how proud I was of Josh and his whole family. Because it takes, everyone to do that, kind of get a contract like that. Sure. But, you could just see, even in his text coming back, where Shane was so happy for his son. Because it's obviously Shane played in the league for 20 some years. And it's just cool to see your son. It's not easy to do for a son to follow up your dad and all the pressure. And he's done a really good job. And couldn't be more proud of the kid. Yeah. And I would say this, Josh, it's your time to start buying dinner for dad. Hey, right? Time to put your credit card for the next family dinner. Hey, Dad, don't worry. I got this one, buddy. I got about 50 bananas coming in here. So good on him. And like Richie said, great family. Grew up around the game. Richie, sometimes I complain about contracts that people get, as an old crusty ex-washed-up defenseman. These are the contracts that I absolutely love. Good for him. Donor, keep it going, fella. It is rumor mill time here at Missin Curfew. We're getting to that time of year, too. After the Olympics are done, we're going to come back. The deadline is going to be sneaking up on us. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. Elliot Friedman, obviously, Chris Drury said the bread man is not coming back. Elliot Friedman said there's some rumors to the Ducks, maybe with Joel Quenneville. I like this. I mean, I like bringing another high-name guy out here. Obviously, you want to lock him up. He's played for Coach Q. They got a young team out here. He's another piece. I would love to see the bread man come out here and snap around Orange County. I think it'd be great for him, great for the Ducks organization. I think Coach Q could get him back on track and kind of maybe get that competitive juices flowing again, Richie. And he'll be out of New York. There's no media out here. He doesn't have to deal with any of that shit. I hope Elliot's right on this one, Richie, because I would like him to be a Duck. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the Ducks lines right now. I'm just trying to see where he'd slot in because they got a lot of good right shit. They got a good right. The only problem I have with that, I'm thinking about their right centerman, Terry, and then Sennecke, we just talked about. Is if they make, they get in the playoffs, those guys don't get the minutes they need to develop either. But so you're gonna have to send something the other way, right? But you're absolutely right. I never thought about that kid, huh? You don't. Yeah, it's just tough to say who you're gonna send, right? They probably want that. On there, I can't. You know who I bet you they want if it's going to happen is that Minchkov, that young defenseman, right? He'd have to probably be part of it. Yeah, that's probably right. They're not giving up, obviously, any of those other young guys. Yeah, that would probably be the guy. I don't know. I just thought they're a high octane offense when they're healthy. You could put the Breadman in that lineup. Obviously, 100%. It's just a rumor, but I never thought of it from that perspective. There are a ton of right shots out here.
And like you said, they're obviously, they may get in the playoffs this year, Richie, but they're probably not Stanley Cup, favorites or contenders right now. So you don't want to delay the development of Gauthier and Sennecke and guys like this, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking like long term. Like obviously, this has a potential to be a championship team in the next very short future. And I just think like those playoff games are so valuable for young kids. So if they're not getting their minutes and they're playing on the fourth line and not playing where they're supposed to be, it's gonna hurt their little development a little bit. Not saying Panarin's not a great player. It's just you got to look to, is this our window this year or is it going to be the next 5 years?
Yeah.
And what's going to help us get there quicker? I don't know.
Yeah, and they got Troy Terry, another guy who's out right now.
I don't know. I think if they can fit it and it works, it works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know his situation. If he doesn't come back, you could see it maybe.
Yeah.
But who I think a sleeper team is Detroit.
Detroit's good, man.
I don't know why.
I've been waiting all. Well, Gibby's out. Gibby's
I got a
absolutely
feeling Stevie
kicking
Y
for
is
him.
going to do something.
Gibby's absolutely kicking for him, but I've been waiting.
Yes.
I've been waiting all year for the Red Wings to kind of tail off. I'll tell you what, that Dylan Larkin, he's a player, man. He competes every single night. Yeah, they're a good hockey club, and I think Stevie Y is going to make a big-time move at the deadline, right? That's what you're thinking as well?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I know you got Patty Kane on the right side and that Raymond, but they don't really have that. I know, and then they have DeBrincat he plays the offside and the other side, so I don't know. I just think it's time for them to make a little splash in there. If they've played so well, it's just like one of those things to be like him and Patty Kane have played well together.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I just think it could be something that they look at.
The Breadman of Detroit's probably the Breadman probably wants that more too, right? That's more of a fit for him. Goes back, plays with Patty Kane, DeBrincat. Did they play together, him and DeBrincat? They did, right?
I'm not sure if they played. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, they might have missed each other.
I don't know. I'm sure Stevie just hasn't made any real big deadline moves in his tenure, right? So
now's the time, Stevie. Now's the time. Hey, listen, I took a lot of minuses in the Joe, but obviously they got a new barn there now, Little Caesars. But the playoffs are better and hockey's better with the Red Wings in there. So we'll see if the Stevie Wob with you. I think he does something big, and they got a good hockey club, and Gibby's absolutely kicking for them. So, but that Dylan Larkin, man, every time I watch the Red Wings play, just obviously the captain, but his compete, his forecheck. I mean, I can see why they named him captain, and they got a good one there in him. So, last but not least, boys, it's our Iciest shot of the night, presented by Jäegermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jäegermeister, damn, that's cold. For more info, visit Jägermeister.com. And fellas, always drink responsibly. Ice pick before you roll it here. Back to the Oilers Ducks last night. Our boy Granny is up to it again. The hat trick. This is the first of his hat trick here. Bouchard doesn't get it out. Good passing play here. D to Kreider to Granny. Damn, that's cold. That is our Iciest shot of the night. I didn't see that live. That's a terrible play by Bouchard. You got to give a little more compete than that. But Richie, first thing you said when you saw the clip, great passing. Lacombe D, Kreider up high, and then over to Granny. It's a good goal all around, but the way they snap it around is nicely done, Rich.
Yeah, the play was unreal, and the key for me was that quick little one touch. I think it was I can't remember who that kid was. Left shot guy, the Gauthier kid made a great little one touch play, and then a hell of a shot. Obviously, Granny just kind of held it and just flipped her up top.
Yeah, Granny had himself a night. That is our Jäger. Damn, that's cold. Iciest shot of the night. Richie fella, I appreciate my man. We were shorthanded today without the up dog or Jay Swish. Felt like we got the job done, buddy. We at least got a point on the road. Let's get on the bus. Have a couple cold Labatt Blues, buddy. It's always fun snapping around with you. I appreciate you.
I'm with you.
Thank you to Hall Pass Media, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup, and Kyle Casey Conway. That was Missin Curfew. Fellas.